Hi, it's Tom from Baroque and Harrogate, and I thought in your lockdown all your fringes were going to be a bit crazy, and obviously as hairdressers we don't want you to be cutting your fringes, but we know you've got time for your kitchen scissors, so I thought I'd give you a really gentle step-by-step on how to do the least damage to your fringe at the moment. So you're going to need a comb. You're going to need a pair of scissors, obviously. Smaller scissors are better, but if you need to use your kitchen, then that's fine. You're going to need something just to cover and catch the hair, so we'll just wrap a little tea towel or something around it. Now, obviously, I don't have a fringe, so I went into work and I picked up our wonderful Kevin.Murphy colour fringes, which are for colour changes, but I thought if I used the ginger one and I placed it on my lovely self, and I'll just get my wonderful cameraman to turn the camera around so I can see myself on the picture. Oh, hello, oh my god, I look like the woman who was from who was the editor of Vogue and bloody what's her name, I feel like her. Oh, the woman porter. Anyway. So, fringe. So, normally, your fringe could be cut kind of like, I like a nice sensible fringe, which is obviously what we don't want you to be doing, is having these sorts of fringes in lockdown, just to make you feel really special. If this does happen, I suggest drawing your eyebrows on a little bit higher. Anyway, back to the drawing board. We're in to fringes being too long. Now, if you cut this fringe straight across, you're asking for trouble. And the best thing with fringes, I'm going to lean in so I can see myself as I teach you. The best thing with fringes is they tend to get really, really clumpy. And so really what you want to be doing is not cutting the length, but wearing it differently. So if you wear it full normally, what I'd recommend is that actually, whilst it is in lockdown, you probably wear it over and wear it slightly differently, pushing it over. So rather than cutting the length, what I recommend you do at the moment is probably taking the weight out of it. So although it's still long, you're probably going for more of that kind of thing rather than a Chrissy Hines thing. So in order to do that, work out which way you're going to swing, left or right, brush it into its natural position. So let's say that's kind of roughly where it falls. Kind of wobble it, see what it's going to do, and see where it's at. Okay, so I'm going to say that's its natural fall, and I'm going to work with that. If I start forcing it, I'm going to end up in trouble. So work with what it's going to do. I'm not going to take the length off because that's like we end up in scary zones. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the weight, and I'm going to see where it starts to change. So you can see at this point here is where the hair starts to change direction. So I'm going to literally isolate 1 centimetre from the point of distribution to the forehead area, and I'm going to pick this section up. Okay, it's about 1 centimetre wide, okay, going back towards the crown, and very, very light. I'm just going to push my fringes out of the way. Very, very lightly. You just need to be picking the hair up using a mirror. Obviously, I'm using a camera back to front, but you want to be holding the hair with your non-dominant hand. Scissors in your dominant hand and using your thumb to power the scissors. We're not going to be cutting straight lines because any straight line is going to cause more issue. What we're going to be doing is just taking the weight out. So we'll be using, like we're going to cut these sections out nice and evenly. And you'll have seen us doing it in the salon, be taking the weight out. So every section, like segments of an orange, we're going to work around the hairline, and we're going to bring the new section into our previous section. So we're going to start over directing the fringe back. towards the very first section we took. Still a centimetre section, still pulling it out parallel to the head shape. Okay, so I'm not pulling it down here, it's coming straight out parallel. And I'm literally going to point cut and take that corner off, okay? What this is doing is creating a short point, working it into longer, okay? So that I'm getting a kind of a sweepy effect rather than a full-on fringe. Obviously this is a hair piece, so I'm patting it on because it's not sticking in. But where there's bulk like that, you take the point cut deeper. So take your neck section, tucking it behind, bringing it into your previous two sections, elevating it up, that's it, and bringing it back to the previous section. So you can see that I'm travelling back to where the hair started to part, roughly halfway over my eye. And I'm literally point cutting from the bottom to the top, okay? Bottom to top. If you go top to bottom, you end up with like a Christmas tree steps. So bottom to top alleviates that, okay? And just takes some of that weight out. Now, I'm kind of probably not going to be able to over direct any more from that corner over to there because it's kind of run out of hair. But, let me clip it on again. Hang on. I do feel like a right naughty. Hang on, listen to it click. Oh, that sounded like my neck. Right, so I've run out of kind of fringe hair now, but it's still really friggin' bulky. So actually, what I'm gonna now do is do a technique called twist cutting. And if anyone has ever, just grab a clip. 1 minute, you'd think that I'd be really organised. I thought I did have it. Bear with me. Oh, thank you. My assistant. So I'm clipping it. So basically, I've just taken a section across horizontally. Nice and neatly. And all I want to do is just take a bit more of that weight out. So if anyone's had their hair cut with me, I use this technique a lot because it stops the hair looking brand spankingly new cut. All you do is you take an inch square like I've just done, you twist it into a dreadlock, twisty, twisty, twisty. Okay, so we've got worms, not in that sense, but on our head. And we're using the heel, that part, the V bit, in our scissors. And we're literally nipping, we're not cutting through, you're just nipping, nip, 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 like little birds, like that. Take another section and go in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiny, tiny, you've got to be so careful with this. Next one, cheep, 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 all the way down, okay? Don't brush it, let it stay. Take another layer. So if you've got a thick fringe like this, obviously you're going to do more layers. If you've got a finer fringe, you're going to not do this as much. So where I'm doing every section, if you've got finer hair, you'll probably take smaller sections and miss one in between. Because if you do this on fine hair, you're going to have no hair. So I'm literally sliding it down now because the hair's getting thicker. So where it was, the first section was fine, I did tiny little snips in it. And this section, a bit thicker, I'm kind of continuously, continuously doing that and sliding down the worm. So I'll grab it again, twisting, twisty, 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 scissors in. Oh, best look and not look at myself. That sounds good, doesn't it? So you can see that the hair's coming off. I'll do the last one here. And again, where the hair's thicker, it means that you probably need to go in again. Just sliding down. I'll just brush that out. So I've still got hair, which is amazing, because at this point people normally cut their fringe and go, oh my god, what have I done? And then this is where you start detailing it a little bit. But again, you're not using the tips of your scissors. You're just using those heels. So where I've got a bit like that, gosh, I'm just gonna slide it. So I'm doing visualization, or as we like to call it in the industry, personalization. So we're just twisting it, and I just want to take the clumpiness off the edge, the blockiness, and just take your time with it. This is going to be right on your face, so you want to take your time. And just, it's almost like scooping the hair out, but just, yeah, you can see that sits a bit softer, less in a line, and just a bit more broken. So this is probably, in lockdown, the safest way to do your fringe, rather than, let's see, look at that big clumpy bit, rather than cutting the length, is removing the weight really, and actually just wearing it slightly differently for a while. It might even be that you want to grow the fringe out after lockdown, and this is what I do to help someone grow their fringe out. So you can see it's just, it is a wig, guys, we must remember that. It's just a bit softer because I'm wearing it more like Donald Trump. I hope that's kind of helped, and I'll do fringe length if you do wear your fringe strong another day. Bye. Thank you. Stay safe. Thanks, Terry.